Before I tell you how it all unfolded, if you've ever trusted someone completely and they tore that trust apart, hit that like button. Subscribe if you believe karma has a funny way of finding people like Sofia, because what you're about to hear is how I turned heartbreak into justice. My name's Ethan, I live in London, and 3 years ago I thought I had my life figured out. A stable job, a cozy flat near Camden, and Sofia, my girlfriend, who at the time felt like the entire world to me. She was one of those people who could light up a room without even trying. That soft laugh, the way she'd touch your arm mid-sentence, she had this magic. Everyone loved her, and I did too, more than I should have. For a long time, things were perfect. Late-night walks along the Thames, Sunday brunches in Notting Hill, weekend trips to Brighton. We talked about moving in together permanently, maybe even marriage someday. It felt like a future, until one evening, a tiny, almost invisible detail cracked that illusion. It was a lipstick stain on the collar of her white shirt. A faint mark, pinkish, almost easy to miss. When I asked her about it, she laughed and said, "Oh my God, Ethan, calm down. It's from a coworker's hug. You're adorable when you get jealous." I remember laughing too, because that's what love does. It blinds you. You want to believe the person you love would never hurt you. But looking back, that was the first sign I ignored. A few weeks later, things started to shift. She became distant, less affection, more late-night work shifts. And suddenly her phone, the same phone she used to scroll, TikTok with in front of me on, was always face down. Notifications off. Her smile faded into something practiced, like she was rehearsing how to look in love. I tried to tell myself it was just stress, that maybe work was overwhelming her. But deep down, I felt something tearing quietly inside me, that gut instinct that whispers, something isn't right. Then came the night everything changed. She said she was working late again, some urgent campaign with her marketing team. It was raining hard that night. London rain, heavy and gray. Her laptop buzzed while she was in the shower earlier that day, and for the first time in 3 years, I crossed a line. I opened it, and there it was. A message from someone named Lucas. That little heart emoji might as well have been a dagger. When I opened the chat, my hands were shaking so hard I could barely scroll. There were photos, messages, plans. Last night was perfect. Can't wait to see you again, my love. Dates that matched the nights she'd told me she was too tired or working late. I just sat there, staring at the screen. It wasn't heartbreak. Not yet. It was numbness, the kind that freezes you in place while your world falls apart in slow motion. When she got home later that night, she kissed me on the cheek like nothing had happened. And that's when I decided I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to break things. I was going to plan. For 2 weeks, I pretended everything was fine. I smiled. I cooked dinner. I said I love you like I meant it. And in the background, I gathered evidence, screenshots, receipts, location histories. Every lie had a date. Every work meeting had a timestamp. When I finally had everything, I made one final move. The kind of move that doesn't just expose lies. It exposes character. I invited all our close friends, her colleagues, and even her parents to a fancy dinner at her favorite restaurant in Soho. I told everyone it was to celebrate our 3-year anniversary. Sofia was thrilled. She wore that deep red dress I'd bought her for her last birthday, said she wanted to look perfect for our big night. I told her she would. When we arrived, the place looked beautiful. Candles, wine, and soft jazz playing in the background. Everyone was smiling, toasting, laughing. Sofia looked radiant, completely unaware of what was coming. Halfway through the evening, I stood up, glass in hand, and said, "Before we eat, I made a little video, a memory reel of our journey together." She smiled at me, eyes shining. If only she knew. The video started with photos. Us on the London Eye, Our first trip to Paris, her laughing in Hyde Park. Everyone was smiling, moved by how in love we looked. Then the slide started to change. The next image, a screenshot of her messages with Lucas. Then another, a selfie of them together. Time-stamped the same night she'd told me she was working late. Another, and another. Each slide, a knife cutting through the illusion. The room went silent. The only sound was the soft hum of the jazz and Sofia whispering, "Ethan, please stop." Her mother gasped. Her best friend dropped her fork. I looked straight at Sofia and said, "You stopped being honest long before I stopped loving you." Then I told everyone something else, that I'd already moved out of our flat earlier that week, that everything we owned together, every piece of furniture, every memory, had been donated to a charity that helps women rebuild their lives after emotional abuse. The flat she filled with lies was now going to help someone start over. I didn't shout. I didn't gloat. I simply raised my glass and said, "To truth, it always finds its way out." And I left. I walked out into the London rain. The same rain that once felt cold and heavy now felt cleansing. That night I checked my phone. She'd already called 12 times. Messages poured in. Apologies, excuses. It meant nothing. "I still love you." I didn't reply, because sometimes silence is the loudest revenge of all. In the weeks that followed, word spread fast. Her colleagues found out. Her reputation gone. Not because I ruined it, because she did. All I did was shine a light. And in that silence, in that peace, and I rebuilt myself. I started running again. Took a solo trip to Italy. Met people who reminded me that love isn't supposed to hurt like that. That real love doesn't need to hide behind locked phones and midnight lies. Looking back, I don't regret how it ended. Because what I lost wasn't love, it was a lesson. Betrayal changes you. It breaks you open. But it also shows you what you truly deserve. So if you've ever been in my shoes, if someone's ever shattered your trust, and remember this, sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying them, it's rebuilding you. If this story hit close to home, drop a like. It really helps the channel. Comment your thoughts below. Would you have exposed her like I did, or walked away in silence? And of course, subscribe for more true stories of betrayal, justice, and the sweetest kind of revenge. Because here, karma always comes full circle.